In our previous lesson, you learned about what topic? Systematic correlation phenomena. Yeah. So, what is it?
It's a memory problem.
Some issues or let's say problems that students face in learning, yeah, and to be specifically in language learning. And what kind of strategies did you learn to deal with this situation? Grouping, yeah. Could you just give example? Grouping, for example, let's say the topic is education, yeah, and you should put in one group all the words related to education, yeah, and learn by the grouping. So the next one, associating. So, for example, if someone or some students are going to learn the words, color words, yeah, let's say red or yellow, they can associate it with apple.
Placing new words into context.
Placing new words into context. Yes. Could you explain? Making up sentences, for example, yeah. Speaking by using these words, for example, yeah. So all of these activities are called putting new words in some context. Okay. Any other techniques?
Using our imagination, it's like create some pictures related to some sentences in our mind. So when we hear that word, we should systematically remember this picture, and this way called using pictures method.
And today we are going to learn about learning styles and learning strategies. So all the things that we learned in our previous lessons were related to the cognitive factors in language learning. Students' cognitive factors, yeah? And today we are going to move to the learning styles and learning strategy. Before starting, as always, we are going to discuss these questions, yeah? The first question, how do you naturally prefer to process new, complex information? And do you believe this preference is fixed? For example, you always use the same way, let's say, or the same technique to learn anything new.
Depends on the specific topic.
Yes, it depends on the situation, on the specific topics, yeah, and your attitude, for example, yeah. Okay, the next one, students are taught exclusively in their preferred learning style. For example, you prefer learning by writing, let's say, yeah, you are like tactile learners. What about other ways of learning something? And the second part of this question related to this one, yeah? What potential cognitive blind spot? It is kind of gap. Then they might be created what? Blind spots. Is it clear? Okay, and the last one. Think of the most engaging lesson you have attended and how many different senses or methods were engaged. For example, teacher can start with presentation, yeah? Visual aids. So then there might be kind of pair works. You can discuss in pairs. So, and then you can also again put in one, let's say team or group framework of 8 distinct learning styles. It means that we are going to learn 8 distinct styles, yeah? And synthesize effective teaching strategies for multimodal instruction. So, what is multimodal instruction? As we have said above, if, for example, teacher uses different kind of techniques on the lesson, yeah? So this is multimodal instruction. And objectives. The first one, define the 8 traditional learning styles and their corresponding teacher strategies. It means that for the one learning styles, there might be a lot of strategies or some strategies. The second one, analyze scientific evidence regarding the effectiveness of learning style matched instruction. It means that for each learning style, there should be appropriate instructions. And the third one, formulate a practical, varied approach to lesson design that sustains audience attention. What does it mean? Sustaining audience words and what? Keep, yes, or develop, for example, yeah? Keep and or make them active, for example, students, yeah? Or synthesis, yeah? Then we will move to the analysis part, evaluating the scientific evidence. And about, we are going to discuss multimodal reality. And then we will conclude our lessons. Do you see in this slide, let's see? There are different styles, yeah? So these are the names of different styles, or 8 styles that we have mentioned above. For example, we can start with a visual one. So what kind of style it might be? What do you think? Students learn through pictures. Through pictures, by the help of visual aids, let's say, yeah? The second one, oral. You see here what? Ear. Yeah, the picture of ear. Oral. It means that students learn by the listening the tracks. Sounds, yes. As you see, there are some persons, yeah? Social, it means in interaction, yeah? And practice activities, doing something, yeah? Or for the tactile learners. The next one, solitary. Working in pairs, working in groups, for example, yeah? While the solitary is individual work. Is it clear? Sensory driven learning modalities, yeah? The first one is visual. So the second one, as you see, oral, yeah? So, and you see here the picture of ear, yeah? It means that through listening and through musical abilities, yeah? Students' response to sound, rhythm, and discussion. Even discussion is also related to this style. Problem solving aloud, yeah, or discussion aloud in groups. And the third one, physical or tactile. Through the role play, students move, yeah. They can go around the class, for example. As you said above, we can utilize large physical spaces and walking exercises. The next one is map out thoughts with pen and paper puzzles. So this one is also for tactile. For example, we can use drawings, for example, yeah? Or sometimes we do some kind of posters, yeah? So this is also for tactile learning. Processing. Here is discussion, yeah, we can say. For the first one, favors linguistic skills, word games, and public speaking, for example, yeah? And strategies that we can use for this style is practice role playing and elevator pictures. Again, role plays, yeah? The next one, reading aloud with intentionally varied tone. So it means reading with intonation, yeah? And write summaries and utilize acronyms. Only first letters of the words. For example, USA. So this is acronym, yeah? Okay. Yeah? We can use numbers, for example, here. And reasoning. What about reasoning? In our previous lessons, in one of our previous lessons, we have learned about reasoning. Yeah? We can use deductive or inductive reasoning. And strategies that we can use for this style is interpret abstract visual information, analyzing cause and effect relationships. So this is kind of case studies, for example. Yeah? The next one, draw conclusions and naturalist. Social, processing information through interaction and relating to others. As we have said above, for example, if you discuss some topics, let's say in pairs or even in groups, for example, yeah, so this is social interaction. The strategies here, bounce ideas and comparing concepts, yeah, utilizing shared stories and group role plays again here we can use. The next one, solitary. Above, we discussed the difference between them, yeah? Solitary and social. What was the difference? Solitary is individual learning, yeah? Underlying patterns in nature and vast ecosystems. Comparing, for example, yeah? You can use your knowledge, learn it in the classroom, outside the classroom, for example, yeah? Strategies, applying scientific logic to observational case studies. Observing, for example, scientific, how to say, theoretical basis, you can observe theory in the practice, yeah? And identify, classify real-world patterns. So this is about the naturalist learning style. There are given learning styles in the first column. The next one is the co-processing modes, interaction modes here. And this is strategies. For visual learners, for example, yeah? Mental imagery, spatial mapping. Visual storytelling. What about visual storytelling? For example, you can draw on the poster some picture, let's say, the steps of the story, and then you can tell or speak about story, and poster will be for you like a guide. Is it okay? Yes. Comprehensive summaries using the words in the context, let's say, yeah? Logical, cause and effect reasoning and statistics. Here we can provide students with different kinds of case studies, and students should provide answers, yeah, for these case studies. They should deal with these situations. Comprehensive summaries using the words in the context, let's say, yeah? Logical, cause and effect reasoning and statistics. Here we can provide students with different kinds of case studies, and students should provide answers, yeah, for these case studies. They should deal with these situations. Interaction modes, yeah, and what? Key teaching strategies and tools. Why? Researchers at Indiana University School of Medicine investigated the learning styles of hundreds of undergraduates, and the findings are here: no meaningful correlation exists between a dominant learning style and grade performance. And furthermore, students who studied strictly in line with their dominant styles achieved no better grades than those who did not. Is it clear? So it means that we cannot use for the students' preferred learning styles strategies only related to that learning style. Exclusively in one style. So then there is stagnant attention and average grades using varied modalities. Different kind of styles or different kind of strategies should be used in teaching and learning process, yeah? And then there would be what? Sustained attention and enhanced experience. Okay, this kind of presentations for you, yeah? Visual aids. Then color-coded materials to avoid or to aid overarching cognitive comprehension. So for example, in presentations, we try to use different kind of colors, yeah, in order to make it, how to say, interesting and attractive for you, yeah, in order to aid overarching cognitive comprehension. And what we can say in conclusion about this topic?
Conclusion, we can say the true effectiveness of these teaching strategies lies in their combined varied application rather than calling students into specific categories.
Educators and trainers must prioritize dynamic, multimodal lessons designed to sustain attention and to maximize long-term retention.
Through this presentation, we have learned that there are a wide variety of methods which we can use in lessons, and I find it so shocking that even if every student has their own style, we should put more attention to other styles, even if they are not appropriate as it seems, but it is not. And there are some naturalist and visual methods which I find so interesting like this, and through these methods we can use the presentations or like observing, or it means that we don't use only theory but also use in practice.
Clear. Let's just discuss these questions. Many modern offices are open plan or social, yeah, as you see. how does this environment impact a solitary learner's productivity? So here is, we should understand the difference between social and solitary learner styles, yeah? Okay, the second question about the digital learning or about the online learning, yeah? Does online learning favor the solitary learner, or can it be adapted to satisfy the social learner's need for interaction? What do you think about the online learning?
And manage our schedule.
Yes, schedule can be adapted, yeah, in online platforms by discussion in online platforms. Yeah, it means that digital learning not only for solitary learners but also for social learners. Yeah. Okay. And the last question: is it more important to learn in your preferred style, or to develop the strategies of the styles you are weakest in? For example, some students are good at writing, but not so good in speaking, let's say, yeah? So what do you think about this kind of situations? We should work on our work hard, yeah? You know, someone, in order to learn or in order to succeed in learning process, should use all the strategies related to all these learning styles, yeah? Not only the style that is preferred for himself or for herself. Okay, thank you.